like graphic extras. In this video I've just got a design here, a gel-like design that I created it in an earlier video. Well, I'm actually going to continue the approach of using that as a source material for a mask, and in particular once I've actually got a mask and a selection, I can use that to create layers that I can apply layer effects to, such as bevels. But I'm actually going to continue with the bevel approach, and then I'm actually going to introduce a stroke to that, so to create even more unusual gel-like designs. Okay, this is the first time. I'm just going to copy this, edit, copy, go into a new document, and just going to now go to quick mask, just click that, paste, and you can see the actual design there. Come out of that, quickly go to copy, paste, now layer style, and I'm going to add a bevel. You can see a structure there already. Of course you can change it by just changing the angle. So I'm just going to now add a colour, and it's just going to be the standard colour. Just going to go that one, just a red, sort of red colour. Click OK. I'm going to flatten the image. I'm just going to now go to select, reselect. Now what I want is the inverse of that, so I'm just going to inverse, copy, paste, and I'm going to apply a layer style to that. Bevel emboss. And as you actually do this, if you can keep repeating it maybe 2, 3, 4 times, you actually get more and more sort of depth and more sort of unusual sort of bevels and grains sort of appearing in this. Now, one application that's very good for that is also Painter, and of course there are also plugins that can do a similar sort of effect where you can actually sort of, but you can move that around actually to create more certain depths, and obviously you can change all the various settings here as well as modify the contour here. I'm just going to go back to the original one there. Okay, and also now I'm just going to add some more colour again to it. Now, right, you can see that, and I'm just going to maybe make it a red sort of gel-like, a little bit more depth. Okay, so I've got that, and now I can flatten that. So auto tone, that's quite nice as well. Anyway, I'll go with that. Select all, copy, and now I'm going to go to the final stage. And I'm going to do a similar sort of thing again, but I'm just going to go to quick mask mode again, and I'm going to paste that in. And now come out of that, and you've got another selection here, which has got even more sort of unusual gel-like grain. So I'm just going to now go to copy and paste, layer style again. Just going to go through the same basic steps, and again you can move, change the angle around, change the various settings here, the depth, size, and again you can modify this if you want, but I'm just going to click OK at this point. I'm going to flatten this. Actually, I forgot to add a colour, so I'm just going to colour to that. Maybe red again. Click OK. Flatten the image and go for select, reselect, and again I'm going to go for the inverse. But now, instead of actually going for the colour overlay, I'm actually going to go for using the stroke. That's a slight subtle change, but it actually creates an unusual, interesting effect. So I'm just going to now go to copy and paste and layer style and bevel emboss, still bevel emboss. I'm going to go for that, and you can actually again see, of course you can move that around, change depth. But instead of colour, I'm actually going to add the colour. I'm actually going to add the colour using the stroke. Now you have the stroke actually outside setting. And of course you could also use gradient if you wish. That actually is very useful if you combine it with the shape burst. That's quite a nice one. So you can actually apply different colour effects. But I'm not going to do that at this point. But you can actually create interesting sort of depth designs using that shape burst with the gradient option. I'm actually going to go for colour, and now just going to go to bevel and emboss again. It's one of the things that what you can't really see until you actually modify the angle and change around. You can actually tweak that around, and you actually can really see some quite interesting depth just by adding the change in the stroke. Back to the bevel and emboss. And another thing you can also do is go over to here. You can also use different options here. Glass, also change the contour as well. You can actually create interesting like that. Right, so there you have it. You've got a quick way of creating sort of very interesting and you can obviously continue. And each of these glass contours, you can actually obviously modify the glass contour as well. You can actually create very different sort of material-like effects, sort of like rubber or there. You can modify that as well. Of course, you can just double click that and bring up the options for click OK. Right. Okay, that's finished. Anyway, I hope you found this tutorial of interest, and I'm always adding new videos, so thank you much.